What's up guys, SK here, and today we're going to talk about fighting Gideon. And this is going to be fighting Gideon as a physical class because he's really annoying to fight, especially since they took away our ability to stun him. And yeah, so it just gets a lot more fun for us physical classes. Now his attacks are really easy to get by. You can't overextend your combos, which is something I've learned from fighting him a few times. Overextending your combos will likely get you hit too many times and having you heal too many times and burning through your resources and eventually dying. So don't overextend your combos. That's one of the main things about Gideon. When he does his attacks, you can always run to the right or to the left of the attacks to dodge them. I mean, not even dodge them, just run right out of the way. And that kind of just makes them barely miss you. Some of them, like the little 5 orbs that he shoots out, they spread and they get bigger. If you use your leap attack, you can usually clear them even if you're right in front of them. At 80% or like 81%, he does one of his mechanics where he stuns you and you have to use your trigger buttons. The first one was trigger buttons. And I say that because the second one is different than trigger, because I started doing trigger and I failed automatically. So I had to like switch it up rapidly. But the first one's triggers, and you have to pretty much break out of that and get behind him if you can. And he's going to have a little bit of downtime after that to where you can do your strongest attack or whatever your attack is that does a lot of damage. It's not much downtime as when he does the regular version of the attack, but it's a pretty good amount of downtime. Now when he does the magical circle, and as you saw there, he shoots out the beam straight, there will always be 2 columns that go in a sphere motion outwards, and then they intersect and they go across and they end right there. When he holds the staff up in the air and it floats in the air, he's gonna shoot out. There's 2 different forms of this attack. The first one, he's gonna shoot out an arcing column that goes around the field towards you. You can just run right or run left and simply avoid that, but make sure you're running right towards him. Don't run right and just run right completely. Just run right and run towards him at an angle, I guess. If you're close to him though, the attack changes and he does an attack that I still haven't figured out how to get out of. I just rolled out of it by accident at one point, but he slams the staff into the ground and then the beams spread outwards and then they come right back in. And like I said, it's hard to avoid it. I avoided it by accident at one point. If you figure out a way, let me know in the comments. And that's pretty much it for his attacks. Like, his attacks are really basic, and like I said, don't overextend your combos. Don't expect to pull off full combos on him. As a berserker, I've never landed a full combo on him. I've got it to like my 3rd hit or my 4th hit, and that was it. My 4th hit was really pushing it sometimes. But like I said, you can just pretty much like waltz around some of his attacks. Make sure you're always targeting on him when you can, so you can get your leap attack in. Like that right there, you jump straight over each one of those orbs. They don't do damage to you if they're not in their big form, I don't believe. When they're exploding. So you see right there where he did like the ground slam just now, it's if you're within that cone area that he does that, it shoots out and then comes back in instead of going out in the arcing motion that it does. And that's pretty much it when it comes to fighting Gideon. Like, he's not really that hard to fight. So we're gonna speed this portion up because he's not really doing anything here besides the same thing over and over, and I'm not doing anything besides the same thing over and over. It's really just like a lot of repetition and timing things and just not messing up. I did go through a few potions because I didn't expect some things to happen when I attacked, and like I said, I overextended sometimes trying to get like the extra hit in, but the extra hit doesn't really matter because when I get bleed on him, and bleed does a bunch of my damage for me sometimes. So yeah. Now this portion, you can tell when he's about to go into the mechanic because he starts getting talkative, and he'll teleport to you, slam down, which will trigger the mechanic. The second one for me, it was the first time I reached it, which was the only time I reached it because I beat him this time. It became a button input instead of a trigger command mechanic. And from this point on, like, he just did like all that extra crap that you saw on the screen. They kind of came in from everywhere. You just had to get out the way, get to him, and start attacking him. And that's pretty much it for the fight. Like, once you get him down to the ending portion of the fight, which you'll see here in a little bit. So another thing you have to look out for is that when he does the shot outwards that makes the arcing circles that spin out, that shoot outwards in a sphere, sometimes those can turn around on him. I don't know why they do it, but it turns around and it goes the opposite way instead. So just watch out for that. It caught me a few times, which was one of the times I had to use a potion because I didn't expect that to happen. So yeah, so when you get him down to around 51%, that's when the last mechanic triggers, and you don't have to really do anything for this part. I thought you had to actually, you know, try to break his shield, because you see he has a little white barrier thing under him, and I was kind of worried that these things were going to hit me as well, and I was afraid of dying after I just did all this work. So I put on Berserk mode and decided that, you know, I'm going to go in there and just try to break the shield as fast as I could, but it didn't have to do anything like that. So you just kind of wait around for the dialogue to go across your screen, and then it's going to tell you come to the gate. The gate's not going to be in the same spot it was where the unicorn was, on the right side of the map. No, on the west side of the map. It's going to kind of just spawn on like the east corner of the map, I want to say. Not really sure if it just spawned like, you know, where I was going or what, but it just ended up spawning there, and you have to press X to get out, and that's pretty much it for the fight. And I thought it was a lot harder than it was. It just took some time to, like, you know, sit down and look at what he does and just find a way to just like not overextend your combos while dealing damage. And like I said, for a physical class, you gotta get up close in his face, and a lot of his attacks hurt, especially if you get hit by those 5 orbs continuously. They did like 1,200 damage apiece, and they hurt. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Hopefully this helps you in your fight against Gideon, and I'll see you later. Peace.